Ah, yeah, brothers and sisters. This is Second Chronicles, chapter 9, verses 3, part 2. Yes. And then we're finished. This is chapter 9, verse 3, part 2. Peep the game. What you doing? You probably one of those people who has sex with somebody in church anyway. You know, a lot of y'all sit there and pretend. You figure you meet up after church, go out to have dinner, drink some wine, liquor, smoke your weed, so you can feel relaxed. Huh? You probably did it yourself. A lot of y'all, you ain't innocent, goddammit. You're not innocent. You pretending to be innocent. You go, whatever you don't know, it shall not hurt you. And it's a fact. But then don't point the finger at someone else when they do or done what you've done. That's why I keep telling you people. Let me tell you something. I went to church one time with a friend of mine at the time, many years ago. And he says, yo, Jesus turned water to wine. So before we go in here, let's go get this liquor. That's real talk. And we went and got that liquor. We got that liquor, we drank that liquor before we went to church. Many years ago. So you ain't gonna tell me nothing. You ain't gonna tell me nothing. And let me tell you something. When you around a lot of these women, and they know you handsome and you're attractive, it's already on their mind, they wanna fuck you. See, y'all don't wanna tell the truth. But we here in Second Chronicles chapter 3 Second Chronicles chapter 9, I apologize for that. Chapter 9, verse 3, part 2. So I see you. So I can finish up. Yeah. Don't get it twisted now. All right, brothers and sisters, this is part 3 chapter 9, verses 3, part 2. I was digging in that the fact people are so much in denial because they want to believe in what they believe in, and you believe what you want. But let's get into this a little bit.
If I was to encounter or be confronted with a situation like that where the pastor is emailing my wife talking
you might confront him. You're going to confront him.
Yeah, I'm
but we're not going to try to hurt the man.
That's an instinctive type reaction. That's what you feel. That's what you...
That doesn't mean you should respond to it.
It don't matter if you should respond to it. All I'm speaking about is the gut reaction. So the initial gut reaction is like, I'm about to get that ass.
Brothers and sisters, see, I have a problem with her.
But what I would
She's a
say
beautiful young woman.
it is just a letter.
This bitch gonna sit there and talk about you don't need to confront the man. So if you fucking the pastor, I should just walk away and let him get away with that. Oh yeah, you could confront him, but don't try to hurt him. See y'all, this is where you gotta he need to pay her some fucking attention. Why you talking like that? Cause see, if he said, if I was fucking a beautiful pastor, she was more beautiful than you. Oh, we already know what the woman gonna do. She ain't gonna sit up there and talk about, I just wanna have a little powwow talking with you. That's bullshit. See, this is why when you hear things like that, is everybody gonna be confrontational? No, we know that. But the brother said this. My feelings is involved deep inside. I don't know how am I gonna react to this. I might fucking react in many different ways. But you're gonna talk about, but don't hit the pastor. Don't hit him. Shit. There's been some cases, the man took his gun out and blew that motherfucker away. Killed him. There's been pastors that the deacon slept with their wives and the pastor caught them and shot that motherfucker in the face. Do your research. You'll find it. So brothers and sisters, I hope I gave you a little bit of enlightenment and a little bit of security to understand that when you condone these type of behavior, because a lot of you do. Now, I'm going to show you something, how the congregation got fucking issues. The congregation's going to give their pastor a standing ovation after he confessed to his sexual incident. I want you to check this out. I mean, the shit that...
In Tennessee, the pastor of a mega church is apologizing for a sexual assault on a teenager decades ago. But that is not the end of the story. Here's Tarika Duncan.
Let's see if that's all right.
Memphis pastor Andy Savage made a confession this past Sunday at High Point Church.
As a college student on staff at a church in Texas more than 20 years ago, I regretfully had a sexual incident with a female high school senior in the church.
His request for forgiveness got a standing ovation.
It breaks my heart.
Jules Woodson was 17 years old when she says she was sexually assaulted by Savage on a ride home from church. At the time, Savage was a 22-year-old youth minister. She recently went public about her story on a Christian blog.
I did it because I was scared and I was in shock. I didn't understand what was happening.
Woodson says back in 1998, she notified a pastor who told her to keep quiet. She says Savage left the church weeks later. In the wake of the Me Too movement, Woodson felt the need to speak up and sent Savage an email last month. He didn't respond until yesterday, and she says he apologized.
We are for Miss Woodson.
Chris Conley, the lead pastor of the Memphis church,
You know what? I'm going to tell you what. Here we go again. And then I'm getting off. Here we go again. 20-some years later. And now he going to come out and talk about, I'm apologize. What I just told you. In verse 1, 2, and 3. This is part 2 of 3. What I told y'all. These people are not apologetic. He only apologized because the woman came out and decided to confess that she got raped, basically, taken advantage of when he was with her. So why he gonna wait 20 years later? Because she emailed him to contact him. So now he gonna go, listen, y'all, because he's in with his own congregation. I'm confessing to an incident that I did 20 years ago. So before he comes out, and then his congregation, they clapping because they think that's so-called great. No. 20 years later? No. This is how people put people on a pedestal and they idolize these people. They idolize them so much. When they do these things, understand this. They're not thinking, are they still like that? Oh, well, he changed. Huh? And a lot of these pastors seem not to have a wife. You ever notice that? A lot of these pastors seem not to have a girlfriend, a wife. They always seem to be by themselves for a long period of time. And they'll use the excuses, well, the ministry's taking a lot of my time. Yeah, but how you having sex in between that, though? How you having sex in between so-called your time? Brothers and sisters, beat the game. Beat it. I'm done. This is Sex Chronicles chapter 9 verses 3 part 2. I see you. Sex Chronicles chapter 9 verse 4. I'll see you then. And the next one's going to be women and men married with open relationships. I'll say it again. Women and men married with open relationships. And a lot of you don't know that. Which they really live in a what? A polygamy lifestyle. And before I get off, I will say this. It's very sad that people want people to be loyal to them. But you don't understand. If you was not taught monogamy lifestyle, it's a lifestyle. You have to practice this. It is not easy to be with one person, because to live this monogamy lifestyle, you have to go through a journey with this individual. And a lot of people cannot uphold the sexual desires that a lot of these people have already. How can you uphold if you got a job, you working hard, you gotta come home and clean. Some of you gotta come home, clean and cook. And some of you got children. See, this is where you don't understand, and this is where you get caught. Because you believe that this person's supposed to be loyal to you when you really have not practiced monogamy. You have not. And then eventually one of you will step outside your so-called marriage and sleep with somebody else. Even having a relationship with the other person. But it takes a strong will. Or maybe these two people, their energies and frequency is so powerful that they can overcome all the obstacles. They can overcome all these obstacles so it doesn't really bother them that much. But I will tell you this before I get off. You better be honest, and you need to practice monogamy if that's what you want, especially women. Because if you don't tell that man, I'm into monogamy lifestyle, open your goddamn mouth and tell him that. And ask that man, are you promiscuous? Men, let me explain something to you. More women cheat. Listen to me now. You can look this up, but I want you to look it up anyway. More women cheat on their men faster than the men do it to the woman. This is just a natural fact. Housewives, women who stay home, women who work at their jobs. Okay, listen, we ain't gonna have no excuses up in here. More women sleep with other people than the men do. Look it up. Look it up. It's scientifically fact. It's just that when women makes more noise about it, men are more quiet. Men are more quiet. And they're more embarrassed. Women, they're embarrassed, but they're gonna let that out. He cheated on me, that motherfucker. But in fact, y'all both didn't practice monogamy, and you don't know how to practice monogamy. You just think somebody says, oh, I love you so much. You mean the world to me. You are everything to me. But that's not practicing monogamy. Those are words. I'm sure I'm in wrong. Watch out for the preachers, the pastors, the ministers. They fucking your daughters. They fucking your sons. They fucking your wife. They fucking your husband. It's all out there. See ya.